Welcome to our yet another webinars. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all the participants on Python for Corporate Finance. Few housekeeping rules before we can move forward. We will welcome all the questions from the participants. Please, it is a request to, because the question and answer session will be held at the end of the session. So the participants are requested to note down their questions. They can write their questions in the comment. We can always answer your questions at the comment. Otherwise, what we can do is you can write down your questions at any place, and you can ask your questions at the end of the session. During the session, we will request you to please mute your mics. Just a little bit about myself, and then we will move forward with the webinar. We, as a Kaizen Analytics LLP, we are a management consultant company and advisory firm with over around 4 years right now. We provide a complete solution of data under one roof. We have a lot of experts to work with, and we work on different tools. Power BI is one of the tools, but definitely Power Apps, Power Automate. Python is one of the amazing tool, and the webinar is about Python. So Python, SQL, Excel, R, any tools, we work on that one. We work in two major areas. One is project implementation, and the second is capacity building. So project implementation regarding these tools for automation, efficiency, and of the business, we definitely work on that one. And second, the capacity building of these tools regarding whether it is an individual, whether it is a public offering which we give to all the participants. We announce public trainings as well, and we also provide corporate training. This was just a little bit about ourselves, but today is session which is totally covered by Mr. Kashif Naz. He is our expert for today. He's an amazing finance professional, if I specifically say, in the field of quite a number of amazing fields. Data science is one of them. Automation, ERP implementation. He has an amazing command over different language which are right now in demand as well, like Python, Power Query, SQL, and he has some amazing abilities to provide solution to the businesses. Okay. Having said that, I will request Mr. Kashif Naz. Mr. Kashif Naz, can you unmute your mic so you can share your screen?
Hello, everyone.
Yes, great. So you can start your video, and I will let me.
Hello, everyone. Today we have gathered on this webinar for discussing how Python for corporate finance is important, and how Python is changing the landscape in the field of finance and other areas as well. My name is Kashif Naz. I am a experienced financial professional with 18 years of experience with the IBM Data Science Certificate, and also I am the fellow member of the ACCA. I have worked over different projects, and in my career I have done different I have done different projects to gather expertise in financial modeling, in data analysis, automation, web scraping, and I also write some technical blocks, which is here, the hash note, where I write blocks. So, having said that, um, my expertise are really involved in the upgradation of the finance people, because finance people are the ones that are stick to the conventional the Power Excel, the basic Excel. They don't know, though they even don't know the uh, uh, and uh, and the pace at which the landscape is changing, uh, it is become redundant, and the accountant will become redundant in the near future. So they want a person to have accounting knowledge with as well as the technical knowledge to deal with that data, because the data is now zillion bytes of data. So what we cover in our webinar is, this is our agenda. Why is Python? What is Python? And why Python? How to use Python, and Python data science stack, important Python libraries, Python for big data analytics, and we will discuss our course outline and some of the examples how we can do work in the Python. What is Python? Basically, Python is a high-level interpreted programming language that is widely used for various purposes, such as web development, scientific computing, data analysis, artificial intelligence, and more. Most of which is today nowadays, uh, it is most popular due to the generative AI, that is ChatGPT, the LLMA framework from the Meta, and also uh, some other participant that are working on the generative AI, that is uh, Claude AI. So so there is now a boom in the generative AI, and all of that uh, will be possible with the help of Python and the machine learning libraries that is available there. Okay, so one of because generative AI is the field of NLP, that is natural language processing. So Python is the one. Python is, and most of the algorithms and most of the work is being done in the Python, because Python is the rich. Python has rich tools of libraries that can be useful for the machine learning and the artificial and generative AI. It has a readability, and ease of use, making it popular, because the creator of that language was in the 1980s, where he was working at that time. The language that was prevailing are the C and C++ and the Fortran language, and these are the very difficult language in terms of the syntax. So he want a library, he want a language that can be readable by any person, any layman person, and layman person can give commands to the computer, and the and that command will mostly be in the English like syntaxes. We will look into in our examples that how the Python is very easy to learn and easy to write a sentence, easy to write a command there. So it was first released in 1991, and since then it has become the most popular language of the world. R is also released in this era also. So Python is an open source software, which means that it is free to use, modify, and distribute, and it has very amazing library that can compete with the proprietary software like MATLAB, SAS, and other graphical tools like if we compare it to the Tableau and Power BI. Now, the key feature why the Python becomes more popular. As I've said earlier, it is due to the syntax. Python syntax is simple and easy to read, making it great language for beginners to learn. It uses indentation to define code blocks instead of curly braces or other data, because curly braces are used in the C and C++ language, and also the JavaScript as well. And it is It has the dynamic typings. Dynamic means you do not have to declare the data type of a variable. Python is smart enough, and its interpreter is smart enough to identify whether the what would be the data type of the input. So this make it easier to write codes and reduce the amount of boilerplate code. Large standard library, because Python is excelled due to the large standard library available under the belt, because Python has a very large standard library that includes module for various tasks such as file IO, networking, and data structure, due to which it requires less libraries, less framework, other than the languages. For example, the JavaScript. If you want to work in the backend, you have to um, learn the Node.js. If you want to work in the front end, you have to learn React.js. So these are the frameworks that have allowed them to work in a peaceful fashion. Otherwise, you cannot write those long scripts in your application. So that's why Python has included most of the standard libraries. So that's why you do not need uh, any external libraries or any other libraries to work to install in order to work on that data structures or work. It is a cross-platform. What do you mean by cross-platform? Uh, if you write a code in a Windows environment, that code will also, without the need to change anything in that code, you can execute that code in the Mac and the Linux operating system. That's the beauty of the programming language, and due to the cross-platform functionality. Extensive community. Python has large and active community of developers, researchers, and enthusiasts. There are many resources available online, such as tutorials, documentations, and forums that can help learn and stay up to date with the latest development in the language. It has a uh, very engaging and very friendly community. And if you go to the Stack Overflow, it has a very promising community, by promising member that if you came across with any problem, you can write over there with proper detail, and you will get the answer in a day or two. So that's how you can go through you can get along with the language that have the extensive community. Now, Python is generally Python is not designed for the data science language. Python is a general purpose programming language. Okay, so Python, due to the general nature of the programming language, Python has the many application areas. That is, it can be used as a web development tool. The most popular framework for that are Flask and Django, where you can build almost any website, like a e-commerce website, a post, or a blog spot on that, with the help of a most popular framework like Flask and Django. Before the introduction of the NumPy, the Python has not scientific computation library. So NumPy has given it the ability to use it into the scientific computing, such as data analysis, numerical simulations, and machine learning. Popular libraries include NumPy, Pandas, and Scikit-learn. And NumPy is the base library on which Pandas and Scikit-learns are made. Data analysis. Python is commonly used for data analysis and visualization with libraries like Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. There are other libraries as well. That is Plotly, which is a very interactive tool, which interactive library, the graphing library. Um, it is also used in the application of that is in the also in the artificial and most, and that's why Python is uh, very popular due to the artificial intelligence, because Python is used for building AI and machine learning models with popular libraries like TensorFlow, Keras, Scikit-learn, and many others. Python has very due to the vast libraries available under the belt, it can automate any task from the system parameter to the uh, uh, from any task that any task can be automated with the help of Python, because it is a general programming language. It also has libraries that through which you can control also the system commands, which is very useful when you are automating any work. So you can also you can also automate tasks such as data scraping, file manipulation, and system administration. These are the domains application of Python. I have I've talked earlier that you can, with the help of Django, you can build a web framework or any website from that framework. And it is also used in the graphics. Scikit-learn is one of the most popular machine learning library in the Python, which we will use in our course also. It has the capabilities to deal with the big data. It can deal with the Internet of Things, because there are also the micro versions of Python that can be used as a programming for the chips. It has amazing web scraping libraries, and uh, I have recently done some projects on the web scraping, where I've used Scrappy, Selectoless, Beautiful, Soup, and HTTPX, AIO, HTTP. Most amazing libraries of web scrap I found is in the Python. And the data analysis, and the king of the data analysis is the Pandas, which we will learn how. Why Python? If you look into the Python is came across as a game changer in the field of finance, because it has revolutionized data analysis. Due to the fast libraries like NumPy and Panda, it is possible for faster data analysis. Faster data analysis and visualization. You can effectively you can effectively manage your data manipulation and cleaning, and you can also use these library for the ETL process as well, because I have used Panda as as an ETL process. So it is a very efficient library in making manipulating and cleaning of data. Then powerful library for data analysis and visualization. Python's vast collection of libraries, including scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and SciPy, provide a wide range of tools for data analysis and visualization, allowing finance professionals to perform complex data analysis tasks with ease. Ability to work with large data sets. Python has different types of libraries that can handle data, or that can handle out of memory out of memory data. That is a data that cannot be handled by the computer memory. For example, if you have 100 GB of data and you only have a 16 GB of RAM available in your laptop, you can use Polars, Dask, Vex, and Modern Library to view that data, to analyze that data, to manipulate that data, and to perform a EDA on that also. And most of is and the best USP is it has integration with other tools as well. Python has great many integrations available with other technologies, such as it can also run R script, it can also run SQL script, it can also run Julia script as well, and it can also interact with the Tableau and Power BI with the help of their connectors. Now, if we look what are the competitors and alternatives to Python, these are the six ones that came across. Two of them are the programming language, and the remaining four are the proprietary packages. The first one is the R, the second one is the MATLAB, the third one is the VBA, and the fourth one is SAS, and the fifth one is Excel package, and the sixth one is Julia. Julia and R are the programming language, and the remaining four are the uh, proprietary packages or softwares. So if we compare it with the R, we can say that R is the strength of R. What is the strength of R? R is made by the statistician for the statistician. So it has great statistical analysis and data visualization. Uh, it is very good as compared. It is There are some libraries that is ggplot, which is also very good if we compare to the other programming languages like Python and other tools like Tableau and others. So I can say that R has a very mature data visualization library, and it has a very mm, good graphics also. So it is a library that is made by the statisticians for the statisticians. So it has a strong academic community. All of the statisticians use R as a base language for their work, and it is widely used in the field of statistics, bioinformatics, epidemiology, and social sciences. Uh, because Python R is all was also released near around the Python after a year of Python or so. It also has a very comprehensive statistical packages. R offers built-in functions like it has a uh, 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 very good package called the tidyverse, which have dplyr, ggplot2, tidier, that have most powerful tool for the data manipulation, exploration, and visualization. Now, what are the weaknesses? As I said earlier, that it is the language that is made by the statistician for that statistician. The main purpose of the language is to perform statistical analysis or do the data analysis. So it is not a general purpose programming language. While Because R is not a general purpose programming language, you cannot do uh, wo- uh, other works. That is, you cannot do web development or handling complex software development projects uh, in comparison with the Python. It has a steep learning curve. If you Because it is made by the statistician, it has some weird notations. That is, if you want to assign an operators, it has in Python it is just is equals to, but in R it is less than and minus sign, uh, and the very weird notation. Although uh, yeah, so it could potentially deter individuals without prior experience with statistical language. Performance issues with large data sets. When dealing with extreme large data sets, R may encounter performance limitations due to memory management inefficiency, because Python has upgraded their garbage collector module, and it is very efficient in dealing with the data that is not usable by the memory. Limited web development capabilities. As I said, it has very limited web uh, uh, web development capability, uh, due to which there are not a lot of libraries that you can use for your dashboarding. Only it has a very good library called Shiny, but you have to use it. You have to know the JavaScript as well. Now, if we compare with the MATLAB, MATLAB is a very comprehensive mathematical and scientific computing package. MATLAB is specifically designed for numerical computation, and since it is being used, it is present before the Python because the creator of MATLAB uh, is inspired with the MATLAB graphing capability, and he has designed all his and he has designed his library according to the gamma graphics on the basis of MATLAB. So MATLAB is really the numerical, very good in the numerical computation, and it is a powerful tool in for mathematical modeling, simulation, and data analysis. Rich library ecosystem. MATLAB offers a wide range of specialized toolboxes that provide ready-to-use functions and algorithms for various domains such as signal processing, image processing, controls, system, etc. It already has built-in integrated environment, so you don't have to use any other environment to run the MATLAB because MATLAB is a language. MATLAB provides an easy-to-use IDE with interactive debugging capabilities and a visual interface that simplifies the uh, development process. Now, the weakness. Because it is a proprietary software, it is commercial software with licensing fees. And a small business cannot afford licensing fees for the data analysis or for the work that is being performed by the individuals. So small, it is as compared to Python, as compared to Python, which are open source and you can use them, and you can also make application and distribute them without the need for the licensing without need for the licensing issues. Limited versatility beyond numerical computing. While excellent for the numerical computation, MATLAB may have limitations when it comes to tasks outside the realm of the scientific computing or data analysis. It may not be suitable for the web development or other scientific applications. As it is a commercial software, so the community support is limited. Python has a larger user base contributing to its extensive library ecosystem. Now, if we compare with it, the VBA, VBA is the back. VBA has the strength that it has integration with Microsoft Office. VBA is tightly integrated with Microsoft Office applications such as Excel, Word, PowerPoint. This allows for seamless automation and customization within these applications. Accessibility for non-programmers, VBA syntax is relatively easier to learn for users familiar with Microsoft Office tool, making it accessible to individuals without a strong programming background. Macro recording, which is a very great feature. VBA offers a macro recorder feature that allows user to record their actions in an Office application and generate corresponding VBA code automatically. Weakness, limited versatility. While powerful within the context of automating tasks in Microsoft Office, VBA has limited capabilities outside of this ecosystem. It has not, it may not be suitable for handling more complex or diverse programming needs. And Microsoft will also stop any development on the VBA as well because they are introducing some other programming language, some other solutions to support the aging VBA. So if you have Microsoft Office 365, they have recently integrated TypeScript as a form of macro builder or or as a form of automation tool. So you can, if you know the TypeScript, you can write codes relating to the automation or related to any form of computation you want to do into the TypeScript within the RAM of Excel. Lack of libraries and community support, the number of available libraries and resources for VBA development is significantly smaller than those available for Python because due to the community support, if you have a larger business, you have greater mind there to solve the problem. This can limit the range of functionalities one can implement using only standard VBA features. Maintenance challenge. Just as project grows larger or more complex, maintaining debugging code in VBA becomes increasingly challenging due to its lack of sophisticated debugging tools compared to Python's extensive development environment. And it I can further add that VBA only support within the RAM of the Office tools. You cannot do anything if you want to do any system programming or you want to run any system command, which it cannot be done in the VBA. Now SAS. SAS has comprehensive analytics capabilities. SAS is a specialized software designed specifically for advanced analytics and statistical analysis. It offers a wide range of built-in procedures and algorithms for complex data analysis tasks. Uh, it is widely used in the because it has very good data management. SAS provides robust data management functionalities, allowing user to efficiently handle large data sets, perform data cleaning, merging, and transformation operations. Established in the industry, SAS has a very good standing in the field of healthcare, finance, and government sectors for many years, and it has a strong reputation and proven track record in these domains. So most of the risk analysts and the health professionals use SAS as their tool uh, for the data analysis and performing numerical computation. Cost. SAS is a proprietary software that requires licensing fees. This can be expensive for individual or smaller compared to open source alternatives like Python. Cost is the main reason for selecting any data analysis panel because if you look into the Tableau, when they are introduced, 1,000 per dollar per person is the licensing fee, but after the acquisition by the Salesforce, they have came down their licensing fee, and due to that, the Tableau has become competitive when compared to the Power BI, and it has now become, I think, best visualization standard for any graphing capability. Limited flexibility, while powerful, the functionality within SAS is often limited by what the software offers or out of the box. Customization also options may be restricted when compared to open source languages like Python. Learning curve. The syntax used in SAS programming may have a steeper learning curve than Python's more intuitive syntax. Additionally, finding resources or community support outside of official channel might be challenging. Now, if you compare it with the Excel, uh, Excel has a familiar and intuitive interface, making it accessible to users with varying levels of technical expertise. Uh, it has a very good quick data analysis tool. It has the vast built-in functions of formula that you can perform mathematical, statistical, financial, and logical operations. Um, easy to visualize data because it has a very good graphic capability, and also the pivot tables in the Excel is very straightforward, which enable the very good which make them data analysis very easy. Also, the Power Query and Power Pivot, these are the more advanced features of the Python through which you can handle a data that is beyond the capabilities of the Excel. That is, Excel has only 1 million rows, and you can and 16,000 column, and so you can ingest data with the help of Power Query over that limit, and you can analyze that data with the help of Power Query and Power Pivot. Now the weaknesses. It has limited scalability. Handling larger data sets in Excel can be challenging as it has limitation on file size, memory usage, and computation power. That is very true because some due to the large data set, sometimes the Excel the Excel sometimes will disrupt the process, and it restarts the process, or it make it sometimes it has bugs that you can that has not been addressed since long. So there are issues with the Excel that you cannot do more challenging data sets, that you cannot do work with the more challenging data sets in the Excel. It has lack of producibility. Again, you have to perform each and every calculation on that. But with the help of you cannot reproduce. That means if you have once write a script, you cannot reproduce that script in the Excel. You have to perform each and every work apart from the Power Query and Power Pivot. Limited automation capabilities. While macros and Power Query exist in the Excel for automation purposes, they have their limitation. And dealing with the more advanced tasks involve web scraping or assessing external APIs. Limited statistical analysis capabilities, although Excel offers some basic statistical functions, it lacks the extensive library available in Python that provide comprehensive statistical analytical tools. Now the Julia. Julia is now very promising language, but it has due to the introduction in the recent years, it has its performance is very good as compared to the gold standard of the C or Fortran. It has multiple dispatch features. It has parallelism and distributed computing. For example, Python has a global interlock due to which you can work on the single thread. That is, if you have 16 cores in your processor, it can only work on single processor or single thread as well. A single thread due to its global interpreter lock. But Julia is designed to be a high performance language, and it is achieving the speed of the C, and the and the performance and speed is the one that is degrading Python's reputation in the field of generative AI, machine learning, and but Python recently Python Foundation has taken some step to make the Python more productive, more efficient. With the introduction of 3.11 version, they have they have improved the performance of the Python by 22-25%, and with the introduction of some other, and they are working on some very promising concepts through which you can they are enhancing the speed and performance of the Python language. Again, a very promising but lack of libraries due to the new language. It has a steep learning curve. It has a steep learning curve for because it is not as beginner friendly as Python. And again, the community size is growing day by day, but not as if we compare it with the Python. Now, how we can use the Python? We can use the Python by installing directly from the Python website called www.python.org. And there is also a distribution called Anaconda distribution. Below is the link through which you can download that distribution. And if you want a full-fledged data science package, Anaconda distribution is the one you can download. If you want the bare metal, that is only the Python and the some setup tools, then it is the Miniconda distribution through which you can scale, and it is for the advanced users. WinPython is also a distribution where which can be used for the data analysis, and it has also all the libraries included that can be used in the data analysis. So for the purpose for the beginners, I would recommend Anaconda distribution and MinPython distribution can be used for the beginners. You can also see an article on my blog spot that how can you install Anaconda and MinPython distribution, and what are the key features of these distribution. Uh, there for doing the work, you have to provide an interface, and that interface is called the integrated development environment. Python has a very good IDEs available in the market through which you can use. There is also a free one like Visual Studio Code, Vim, Spider, Jupyter notebooks. They are open source, and they are updating day by day and provide you the best possible experience that you can have for the Python. Now the coding environment. This is what the Jupyter notebook. After installing the Anaconda, if you write the Jupyter notebook, a series of commands has been run, and after that, that window will be open where it is called the Jupyter notebook, and the look of the Jupyter notebook is like that it executes cell by cell. So this is the first program that print hello world, and this is what the output of the Python is. Now data science stack. This is what the data science stack of Python for the data analysis and the machine learning. So there are very great visualization libraries. These are the data structures, the NumPy and Pandas. And for the statistics, you have a very good packages like Stats Model and SciPy. And for the machine learning and AI, you have Keras, TensorFlow, Scikit-learn, PyTorch, PyCaret, and SHAP. These are the emerging ones. So Python libraries for finance are these. NumPy is the base library through on which Pandas and Matplotlib, SciPy and SciPy, stat models, scikit-learn, and Python and Seaborn has been developed. So it is the NumPy that has given us numerical computation capability to the Python. So these are the important libraries. If you look into the NumPy, these are the domains at which NumPy is being using. So it is using in the quantum computing as well. It is using in the statistical computing. Panda is the one because Panda is developed on top of the NumPy. Signal processing, image processing, graphs and work, astronomy, cognitive psychology, bioinformatics, Bayesian interference, mathematical analysis, chemistry, geoscience, you can name it. It has a very it has a very good footprint in every field of science. So NumPy in data science, what is the importance of NumPy in data science? When you extract, transform, and load data with the help of Pandas, Beautiful, or Intake, you can perform data exploration with the help of Seaborn and Matplotlib. Now, data evaluation is the one where NumPy and TensorFlow came in, and NumPy is also based, and Scikit-learn is also based on NumPy, and it can take arrays as data input. So this is what the NumPy is standing in the data science. Now, our friend, just like the Excel in Python, is Pandas. Pandas data wrangling and transformation. Panda is a library that deal with the sequential and tabular data. It has very good data structure. It has two types of data structure. Number one is the series, and the second one is the data frame. That is, it has rows and column. If you form rows and column, it will become a data frame. And Pandas is made on top of NumPy. So the speed of the Pandas is very good due to the NumPy package. Now this is an example of a Panda. In here we have imported a library here, and we have read a CSV file called flights, and where we have filtered out the data in the destination, that is ordinary, and after that we have subset our data, that is we want all on the columns, that is carrier, deploy, and array. And after that, if there is any missing values, you can drop it. And this is how the flights.describe is the one that perform the descriptive analytics on the data set. So you can see that deploy and delay and AR delay, there is a count, there is a mean, there is a standard deviation, there is a minimum value, there is a 25th percentile value, there is a 50th percentile value, there is a 75th percentile value, and the maximum value. Matplotlib is the data visualization library. Matplotlib was developed, as I told you earlier, that the creator is inspired with the MATLAB. So all the graphics that look is comparable to the MATLAB. So MATLAB is the graphing library that is the main library that is being used and for the data exploration and analysis. Seaborn is used for the statistical graphs, and Seaborn is also made on top of the Matplotlib. So with the help of Seaborn, you can do some you can make some statistical graph, like the distribution plot, the joint plot, the hexa plot. You can prepare box plots, KD graphs, and pair plots, LM plots, YLM plots. There's also a new library which is very interactive when compared with the Seaborn and MATLAB. They are the static one, but Python is very interactive, and it has very good distribution, very good graphing capabilities, and we will be looking that in some of the example in our example session. Now, Python in finance. Don't know what is. Python can be used in stock market analysis. Python is used in financial reporting, and Python can be used in big data processing. Uh, most of them are using in the stock market, because some of them have created the bots on the Python and perform the algorithm through which they will get the tickers whether to buy or sell. Now, Python for big data analytics. Python has realized that there should be data libraries for the big data, because Pandas is limited by the memory that is available in your system. So these are the libraries that is built on top of the Pandas API. That is, the syntax that is used in the Pandas is comparable in these libraries. So DAS, Modin, Vex, and Polars. Polars is the one that is Polar is the library that is being made on the Rust, and Rust is also very good and fast programming language that is being now that is in the current era, and it is also memory safe. So our course outline for the Python for the finance professionals are there are two-part course. The first one, the part one, that is composed of 20 hours, and the second one is part two, which is 22 hours. In the first part, uh, we will learn what are the Python fundamentals are, exploring and inspected data, data wrangling, manipulation and cleaning, advanced concepts, simple and advanced data visualization. We will learn and perform exploratory data analysis. We will learn, we will understand and visualize our data, and through the descriptive statistic, we will learn what are the what are the characteristics of the data are. We will then detecting and analyze data pattern. That is, we will be performing diagnostic statistics. In that, we will be performing some Excel automation and integration of Python with the Power BI using the Python script that is available in the Power BI as a connector. And we will doing some capstone project by applying all the learnings we have learned in our module. In the second module, we will learn the SQL language. We will then expose you to the web scraping libraries like Beautiful Soup, Request, and how you can integrate, how you can get data from the API, and by applying integration with the help of Python. And in that, we will be performing time series analysis. We will be dashboarding in Python with the help of a library called Streamlit. We will then introduce you to the machine learning, and for that machine learning, we will be doing some advanced data cleaning, pre-processing, and feature engineering. We will then making recommendations on the data pattern. That is, we will be performing the prescriptive statistics, and then we will forecast future events. That is predictive analytics, predictive statistics. We will then integrate scikit-learn with Power BI for predictive analysis. Then we will do a capstone project where we will apply all that learnings to perform to strengthen our learnings, or to strengthen our concept. Who should attend this course? This course is designed for the finance professional who have little to no knowledge about the programming language. That is, if it is for beginners, if you don't know the Python language, we will be there to give you the understanding of the Python as a language, and then we will progress you towards the data analysis, then exploration, and the machine learning. This course can also be attended by the data analyst, business intelligence analyst, uh, marketing analytics, and quant professionals. This course can also be attended by those who are data savvy and want to progress in the field of analytics. This course can also be attended by those who want to learn new skills like SQL language, web scraping, working and managing data with APIs, automating their repetitive tasks, integrating Python scripts to Power BI, and much more. So some examples here. I want to show you some examples what the Python can do. Now, if you look at my screen, yeah, okay. So this is how I import my libraries here. This is where I'm importing my Panda library and NumPy. And here are some uh, adjustment to the display numbers. Now I am reading the data set uh, from a link where it is a GitHub where the Ebola data set is present. So I'm reading the data and that has been read, and this is the command where we can dot head is the command where which can be used to see the first 5 rows of the data. And you can see that these are the columns and there are some values here, then there are some and there are some non values, that is missing values, which is denoted by NaN, not a number. And tail is the one through which we will see the last 5 rows of the data set. So there are around 122 observations in the data set. Now, if you want to perform basic statistics, that is descriptive statistics, we can use ebola.shape. The first one is the lines, number of rows, and 18 is represent the number of columns. The more comprehensive one is the ebola.info. Ebola is the dataset name and info is our method, and through which we can see that there are 132 entries and there are 18 columns, and these are the column names, and these are the observations in the column. That is, there are 93 observation and the remaining are not available here, and this is what the data type of that column is. So if you want to perform some descriptive statistics, so we can say that we will use the describe method, which provide you the count, which will provide you the statistics of the numerical columns. That is, there are 122 days. This is the count one. This is called the mean, the average, and STD means the standard deviation. This is the standard deviation. This is the minimum value in the column, and this is 25 percentile value in the column. This is the 50th value in the column, and this one is the 75 percentile value in the column. And this is the maximum value in that column. If you want to transport that transpose that result, because there are a lot of columns here, we can use .t command, that is dot transpose, and you can see that it has converted that into that format, and it can be easily readable by that how many values are missing and how many and what are the percentiles and what are the status of these columns are. If you want to know how many missing columns, missing values are there, we can use isNA.sum method. Sorry. So it will show you how many values are missing. So in cases dot going up, it has 29 values missing and so on. If you want to fill these values by 0, you can use a command called .fillNA, and you can give the desired number. So I'm replacing that value with a 0. So you see there where there are NaN values, now there are 0 values. If I want to know how many values are there, so there what fill NA has does that if there is any missing value, it has been replaced by the 0. So there is no missing values in our data set. Now, if you want to know what are the first 20 rows look like, we can use head bracket 20. So it will show you the 20 rows of the 21st rows for the first column. Now, fill NA method. If you see the Ebola.fill NA, there are various methods available in the fill NA command, which is ffill, that means forward fill, and backfill, bfill, which is mean by backfill. So if you want to fill the command that is forward fill, so what it will do that if there is any missing value, that is 8018, so it has been replaced by that value in that column. So backfill means if that value is missing, that would be filled by this one, that is 8166 and 8166. Now there is also a great function called interpolate, which interpolate that value, which look at the column and interpolate that value as well. And if you want to drop any column, you can use a drop any command where any coming in the data set will be deleted. There is only one observation which has all the values here. Uh, let's look at some other data sets. I have also a data set called sales data. So with the executing of command, we will be importing Excel file called sales underscore XLS, and this is what the data look like. It is has sales, quantity, discount, profit. If you want to know the shape of that one, that is how many rows and columns are there. It has 9,994 rows and 91 columns. There's also another file called zip income. If I want to look into, I have also imported that file in my Python. And if I want to know what is the descriptive, what is the statistics or what is the characteristics of that data set, we can use the info command. And here you can see that it has all the, there's no missing values there, and there are some text columns and there are some numeric columns there. Uh, with the help of Pandas library, you can also filter and remove duplicates data. That is, if you want to filter 42,422 in the zip code, you can do that with the help of this. So it will show only those values that is available. And if you want to perform multiple filtration, then you can use the AND command. And with the help of that, you can also filter out uh, with the or you can also apply multiple condition as well. If you want to know that zip.code is unique, then it is not. Okay. So zip, it is, if you look into the data set, there are 32,526 observations. So what it is doing, there are duplicate values in here. And if you want to perform lookup, VLOOKUP, just like in Excel, you can do that in Python as well with the help of Pandas. So the first data set need to be, the lookup data set needs to be the unique. So there will not be any recurring values there. So with the help of drop duplicate method, we can drop we can drop duplicates value, and there are method for that, that if you want to retain the first one and delete the other one, then you can use the first as an option, and there are other parameters as well. You can use, you can retain the last one, and so on. So if we do that, the 32,000 observation will come down to 14,813. And if we want to look into the zip code that it is unique, these values are unique or not. So with the help of drop duplicate, it has dropped all the duplicate rows, and now the values is unique. Now with the help of sales.merge, this is the function through which you can perform VLOOKUP operation with the help of uh, VLOOKUP operation. So zip income, I'm just taking that columns here and renaming that column here. And what I'm doing is that I'm doing the left merge on the postal code. So if I do that, uh, I have added additional column. Okay. If you see that I have additional column, a zip code here, that is a zip code mean and median. This is one is the zip code. Where is the zip code? Okay. Mean and median. Okay. So now if we want to export that data set, you can do that with the help of sales.toXL. And with, now I am exporting that data set here. So if I go into my folder called data, now there is a file that is created at 811, and this is the one. If I look into that, so this is what the Python has exported to that, and okay, the postal code. It has converted into the postal code. This is the postal code. We have renamed the zip code into the postal code, and we have added these two columns as well. So you can see that with the help of these, you can do the automation as well with the on the big data as well. Now, coming back to the notebook, we can use multiple function for series and data frame. That is, we can use a minimum function and maximum function as well on any column. We can perform if else conditions with the help of np.where, and with the help, if there are more than one condition, then we can use the np.select as uh, np.select, where we can use the multiple conditions to group our data. So in here, I am grouping data on the basis of mean by giving the categories like ABCD. So if it is less than 50,000, then provide that as A, or other 50 to 1 lakh, it is B, C, and D, and so on. So we have done that. Now, if we look into our data set, we have a new column. Yeah, that is the one through which we have created, that is category 1 and category 2. So if you want to look into the categories, you this is now classified into this, that A has 3,485 observation, B band has 4,152 observation, so on. Now we can also group by our results with the help of pandas. Then we can use the group by command. Now this is what the sales value is. We have grouped that. Now if you want to group on the basis of what is the sale of furniture, we can use the sum method as well. And if you want to know by category, then we can also communicate our result with the help of sum column, sum method. If you want a category and subcategory as well, we can use also that. So this is how the pandas have grouped their data, and this is also if we want to add region, so we also have added a region also here. And if you don't want to if you want to reset your index, that is, this is what the index look like. If you want all the names here that is available in the pivot, that like you repeat the rows, then you can use the reset index where all the rows will be repeated. Now if you want the the region column in the rows to the column, so you can use the unstack command here. The columns will the rows will be converted into column, and now you have very presentable data here. That is sales east, south, and west, and these are the sales here. And you can also reshape your data with the help of unstack command, where you can also put the subcategory into the column here with the help of this command. Like Excel, Pandas also have a pivot table function. That is this one. This is what the pivot table look like in Pandas. Same as the group by, and this is what the uh, total value of this. And if you want to sum on the basis of column, now we have put our column into put our region into the column, and this is what the sales look like, and this is same as the pivot table. And if you want the region and the subcategory also, then you can also perform that operation with the help of this one. Now, we will see some graphing capabilities of Python. I will go through fast because time is almost late. So this is how the plotting can be done with the help of Matplotlib. And this is the bar chart. If you want a stack chart, you can perform a stack chart as well, gated stack chart as well. If you want a bar chart with labels, you can also perform bar charts here. If you want a heat map, it will show you the heat map as well. It, it, it will also perform the box plots here. Now, our second library is the Seaborn library. And here we are loading our data sets called Penguin. And this is what a pair plot look like. In just a one command, you will have all the distribution comparable, all the comparison of the distribution. So if you want to look into the build depth versus the flipper length versus the build length you can see the distribution of that data set. You can also see the KD plots as well. You see that these are the KD plots, these are the distribution plots of there. If you want categorical scatter plot, you can perform. You can make categorical plot with the help of Seaborn. This is where I have segregated my data on the basis of male and female. Now, this is the total one, and this is what the male and female data set look like. If you want the box plot, this is what the box plot is. If I want to segregate my box plot with the help of a smoker, so who the smoker are and who are not smoker, so the box plot has been segregated into the two. The violin plots here, this is called the violin plots. Here is also the violin plots, multiple relationship with the facets, so you can perform. You can also give time and lunch you can segregate data on the basis of time and lunches. That is, lunch hours have very thorough smokers and the Thursday and the non-smokers day, and Friday is and there is no smokers at the Saturday and Sunday, and Saturday and Sunday there is smokers in the dinner as well. You can also perform regression analysis with the help of LM plot. This is the smokers, no smokers regression line, and this is what the smoker regression line. And this is also the a plot where tips are there. So total bill versus tip, and smoker is the one. Now, if you want to convert the tickers, you can also convert the tickers. That is, if I want that into the cross or circle, I can use that marker as well. So now this is the beauty of that library, that you only a line will provide you a comparable LM plots here by segregating into the time and lunch and male and female. Now we will be we will be looking into some other library called Plotly, and this is what our interactive one, and see how these library created charts. So this is that how beautiful the charts are. If you want to disable that, if you don't want to look that, you can click on that. You can also click on that if you want to analyze only the two one, so you can do that. So if you want a regression line also, it can also produce a regression line as well. And this is what the formula is. Of equation of the regression line is, if you hover over to the line, this is my regression formula. If you want a scatter chart, it is a very beautiful one. If you don't want the uh, drc.lz variable, you can either on or off. Now, if you want a spread chart, you can see that returns and expect can be visualized in a single chart as well. If you want to make a bar chart, that is the beautiful graphs will be prepared with the help of Plotly. And this is what our box plot are look like in the Plotly library. And this is what the bubble charts are. So this is what you can make a bubble chart out of it. And you can also make a 3D graph as well, like that. So if you are working on some bioinformatics, you will be seeing that data. You want that data to be in the three-dimensional, so you can look data into the three-dimensional format. Now let's see some. Now I am looking over the some tickers called Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, and here I am gathering their data. Now with the help of MPL Finance Library, I have gathered their tickers values. Now I'm looking at the data set called Apple. This is what the Apple values look like. The describe method, the if you want to transport that method, if you want to plot a bar chart here, no, sorry, plot here, and this is what the adjustment and volume bar chart here, and this is what the subplot is. The first one is the adjustment close, and the second one is the volume chart. If you want a density chart, you can prepare a density chart here. This is what the box plot look like. And here you can use the candlestick chart here as well. You can prepare candlestick chart, and you can, with the help of parameter called 7-day moving average and 14-day moving average, you can also plot that on the graph as well. Now, we will look how these graph in Plotly will look like. So this is the Apple chart. You see how beautiful it is, and if I hover over the line, it will show me the values as well, along with the date. Now, if I want to, this is what the area chart is. If you want to prepare an area chart, you can do that. These are the lines. If you want to analyze open and close, then you can uh, disable that feature. Now, if you want subplots of all of the four values, you can make a subplot out of it with the help of functionality called some subplot.to. Here, the subplots are prepared. You can compare the prices of opening and closing, high and low as well. Now, this is the above charts with the area charts as well. This is how the area chart look like. And if you want Bollinger Bands, if you was simple moving average of 10 days and 20 days and Bollinger Band of close and 20. So this is how the graph look like. I also want you to show you some amazing Streamlit library. This is where I found a very Streamlit app that is prepared by a person, and I want to show you how you can do the dashboarding in the Python. So this is what the financial dashboard look like. And if I want to know Apple, if I click on the go, it will gather the data around in the backend and show me the price, show me the currency here, uh, the stock market at which it is listed, and what is the sector of that. So this is how you can prepare financial dashboard with the help of Streamlit library, where you can provide tickers as well, provide infographics of small infographics, and if you want the data to be look for the previous year, you can also see that the data has been changed, and this is what the 2021 data look like, and this is what the market performance is. If you want to look into that, you can do that. If you want to hover over that, it will show you the lines as well. This is the net income graph. This is the probability margin here. This is the balance sheet graphs here. This is the ROE and ROA graph, and this is the cash flow graph here. These are the financial ratios here. This is what the financial ratios are, and if you want to download the data, he has uh, function put the function here where you can extract the data also. So this is how you can make a dashboard in the Streamlit library as well. We will be making similar dashboard in our course in the second part uh, as well. So these are the some examples, and thank you for your time. I've taken too much. Kashif, if you want to
Uh,
start a
sh-
Q&A.
yes, definitely. Thanks a lot, Mr. Kashif, for this amazing content. Definitely, there are the content was too much,
Yeah.
definitely, but and you have covered in a quite in a speedy manner. But there were, I hope, it will give a quite a fair bit of idea
Mm,
what this Python can do. And there is one more important thing, which is the integration of Python with Excel, which happens just last week. So that is
mm,
one of the important thing. I will first let me. You have introduced the questions, but let me first request the participants to please raise your hand if you have any questions. I will allow the participants one by one to ask their questions, and then we can move forward. So please, if you have any questions, so please raise your hand, and then I will allow you to ask your questions. The session is recorded, definitely. If any participants has any questions, so they are always welcome to ask. I think there are the participants. Let me. I think the participants have grab all the contents. So let's move forward with the next thing. We, as Mr. Kashif Nas has already explained, based on the requirements of the corporate world, we are also trying to introduce a question. We have done this before last year. We have introduced the questions, but the course first session of the course last year, but we are now introducing the improved course of Python for Corporate Finance. It is scheduled to be launched next week, end of next week. So, and it will be there will be live sessions, 2.5 hour on Friday and Saturday in the evening at night at 8 to 10 p.m. Pakistan time. It will run for 11 weeks. There will be 2 sessions per week. So if you want to register, you have the code. You can always register over there. And one more important thing, if you want the recording, we will record the session. We will share the slides. If you want the recording, the slides, so please do share your email ID over here in the chat. We will share the recording to all the participants who have attended. Okay, Mr. Anjan Das has some queries. So I will request Mr. Anjan Das to please unmute your mic and please you can ask your question.
Hi, good evening, Kashif. And
Yeah.
also
Good evening.
good evening, Mr. Kashif Nath.
Yeah.
This is Anjan from India.
Okay.
I have some observation. I have seen your presentation. Extremely, it is fine. I am seeing your Python details. What we can do in Pythons is also very fine. But my question is, suppose I am an employee of a company.
Yeah.
Why not I use Excel as, suppose I have no knowledge in Python, in Power BI. I have zero knowledge. I have only knowledge in Excel. I can do the chart, bar chart, Pareto chart. What types of analysis I can do through Excel? Why I invest my time for learning a new language, number one. And number two, if I learn that, what is the extra benefit which I can't get from Excel?
Okay. That's a very good question. And that was a question that I used to ask myself why 10 years ago, why I use programming, because I am exposed to the Python back in 2012 and 13, where I used to think why I use programming language to do my tasks, where Excel is there to do my work. But I have been in the finance industry for 18 years, and I'm working. I have worked on from a small set to the larger data sets, and when it comes to the speed and automation, Excel is not there. If you have a small data set, you can do that in Excel as well. But if you have a large data set, and nowadays, if you go through the bank data, and if you go to the fintech data, they have a lot of data here, and they provide you initial earlier the IT department will provide you the CSV files. Earlier they provide you the Excel file, but now the data is large enough that you cannot give you they cannot give you the Excel file, and because storage is become a lot of problem nowadays, and for that they will give you the read-only access to your database so that you can query that data from the system and do your analysis, because storage cost is increasing. The storage costs are there nowadays due to the large data sets. And if I want to give you another example of that, earlier I used to do all the work in the Excel, and I am very familiar with the VLOOKUP function, SUMIF functions, and that. If I want, I have a corporate portfolio of around 6,50,000 rows. So if I want to look up onto some data sets, it will take around 45 to 50 minutes to do a VLOOKUP function. Okay, so it is the waste of time. So what I have done is that I've used some other tools as well, or I use the Python as well, because at that time the need for the other tools arises, like R, SQL, Python, and you can do that. And after exposing to that tools, I came to know that you can perform very efficient. You can perform data analysis tasks and data analysis functions and the merging functions very efficiently than when you do into the Power Query and Excel. Okay, so and recently Microsoft also realized that, and they have introduced uh, Python as a Python language into their Excel in the beta channel. If you have a Microsoft 365 subscription and you have a Microsoft Office 365, then you can do that. Then you can see that recently they have with the collaboration with the collaboration with Anaconda, they have introduced a function called is equals to py. With the help of py, you can perform, you can write code, Python code into the Excel sheet, and that sheet and that function will perform all the tasks that is required by the Python language. So the catch is here that they are not providing you the locally. All the computation will be done in the Microsoft cloud if you have Office 365. But Python has other languages as well that can like Excel Wings, PyX, LL. These are the language. These are the libraries that you can play with Excel file as well. And where the data is heavy, the Python and SQL is the one that is here for your rescue. So I hope I have answered your question very well.
Thank you, Mr. Kashif. Yes, I hope Mr. Anjan Das has his answer, and if he has some other questions, please. Any other participants who have any other questions? Otherwise, we can thank Mr. Kashif Nas for taking time, and thank all the participants for giving your professional times. Okay, there is one question by Mr. Hassan. Please, can you unmute your mic? Let me allow you to, please.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, please.
Mr. Kashif, welcome, and Mr. Kashif Naz, welcome, both and all colleagues. I have one question. Before I attend to same session, and both of you telling us about Excel only. What about other database? If I have a software, okay, local software, and I need to use this database, how can I use it?
You will learn in our second part, where we will learn the SQL language, and we will try you to integrate because there are library called other libraries we will be using. Recently, what I have worked into, I have integrated Oracle SAP into the Python, and also the Access database as well, and also the Microsoft SQL database as well. So in our second part, we will be learning a library called SQL Alchemy, where you can integrate your local database, even the SQLite one, in the Python, and do your and also run your queries without any IDE, but in the Python.
Okay, so you are telling me that it's applicable for all type of
All
database.
It has support for every database in the world.
Okay,
Because due to its extensive libraries.
So any complexity for using any kind of database like Oracle or Access or anything?
Anything.
There's no complexity.
No complexity. Not complexity. I have used that. That's why I'm answering you with my experience.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan, for your question. Thank you, Mr. Kashif, for taking time. So there are two questions. One I want to avoid, which one is better, Python or R? I think it depends on the use, but definitely Mr. Kashif Naz Mr. Abdul Majid is asking this question. So can you shed some light on this one?
I can answer you like that. Is that both are the great languages. I cannot say that R is not a, uh good language. R is a very good language, and also learn R, and I'm also trying to learn R and Julia as well. So if you want to perform any task, so I look onto the when I look into any set of problem, I used to think what is the easiest way and what is the fastest way to solve that problem. If that problem uh, can be solved easily in R, so I will go with the R. If that can be solved problem with the Python, I will go with the Python. But the question is, uh, why do we learn two languages? Okay, so R is I have talked about in my webinar is that this language is made by the statistician for the statistician. So it is somehow complex when you write expressions in that R language, uh, and it is not a general purpose language. So if I want to perform any web scraping task, it can be done in the R. But if I want to merge my Python script into an application and I want to make an application out of it, then Python has an edge. So learn that language that have an extensive library, and with the help of one library, you can do all the things. I can do dashboarding. I can do machine learning. Machine learning has a very good library. Python has very good libraries for machine learning. And if you go to the Kaggle, you will see uh, a Python code a lot than the R and Julia. So I can say that learn a language that because multilingual is good, but I would say that master a language, then go for the other one. If Python has all the ecosystem covered, then then choose a language that is available. Choose a language that can be used in all the domains. Like if you want to make a if you want to make a website, you cannot make a website with the R. If you want to make a MicroPython, or if you want to make a IoT, you cannot make IoT application with the R, because it is not designed for that purpose. So that's why Python gives you an edge due to its general programming capability.
Thanks a lot. I hope you have answered the question, and Mr. Abdul Majid has his answer. Now there is one question which is asked twice, which relates to myself, regarding how much is the course. We are just finalizing the content and all those things. Content is finalized, and the dates are finalized, but we are just compiling all the things. So the fee and other things are not yet finalized. We will announce it in next few days. So both of the questions were regarding the fee, so it was answered. Now Mr. Umar has one question. Then I'll move to Mr. Mohammed Mustafa, who has raised his hand. Mr. Umar is saying, how is web scraping useful in finance? So why web scraping is useful for finance? Can you shed some light?
Yeah, web scraping can be useful for finance if you let's say if I want to share my experience. If I want to get prices from Pakistan Stock Exchange. So if you want to get prices from a stock exchange and you don't have an API, and you have to pay for the API, but there is a way and the website allow you to scrape that data, get that data from the table. So web scraping can allow you to get the values and schedule your tasks, and you can do the automation from that. With the help of that, you can get data from here, from the web scraping, because there are libraries, very good and fast libraries through which you can get the data. Also, I have done a project where a client wants me to get the data from the website, where in the Excel format, and the Excel format, and the information that is required is, he want the link, he want the price, he want the article name, he want the product name, and he want that to be in an Excel file, so that he can share that data with his subordinates to look for a particular product or look for the prices, so that because that vendor uh, do not provide data, do not provide in a flat file like CSV or Excel file. So he asked me to prepare a program. So I prepared a program, a web scraping program, and do the asynchronous asynchronous work. So around 1500 links will be uh, gathered. The data of 1500 links will be gathered in around 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So that's why web scraping is sometimes important for the, if you want to analyze data, if you want to do market research, there are data that is available on the website, but you don't have any capability to get the data. So web scraping is there to help to get that data, to analyze like the market competitor. If you want to analyze the market competitor, if you want to analyze a market, what is the health of your market competitor, you can get the data from various resources, and you can get data into the Python and analyze with your company, so you can have a competitive advantage over your competitor.
Thank you, Mr. Kashif. So I hope the question is answered, and the person has its answer rightly. Okay, there is now yes, there is one more thing by Mr. Muhammad Mustafa. Is it necessary to have a grip on Excel to move forward on Python or any other programming language? So he's asking whether we need to have first the grip on Excel and then we can move from Python.
Uh, uh, if basically it depends on your needs. If you think that your data is somehow can be managed in Power Query and Power Pivot, then I would recommend that do master that tools as well, because if you go through the Power Query, you will get some of the experience of a language, because it is a Power Query. Because Power Query, if you go to the M language, it is a language. So if you go through the M language, I can assure you that you will have better understanding than those people who are moving from Excel to Python or some other language like
Okay,
SQL.
okay. So it depends on the need.
It depends on your need.
Yes. So there is one more question, which is Mr. Rashid is asking the same, that can I join the question? I don't have the programming language knowledge before. So he's
Yeah,
asking whether please.
this course is designed for the beginner. This is course is designed for the novices. You don't have any programming experience. We will give you the Python fundamentals, and we will get you to the intermediate to advanced level in this course.
Okay, great. Thank you. So there's one more thing. It relates to me that are the timing are finalized, the days are finalized. Actually, the day which is announced and which is in front of your screen now, it is almost finalized. It is finalized. It will be Friday and Saturday. It will be in the evening Pakistan time. So you can look at your local time, and the sessions are also finalized. We are just finalizing. The content is also finalized. So we are just finalizing some other details in order to formally announce it. So this was asked by Mr. Sharik. Yes, Mr. Shafiq, we will provide the recordings to all the participants who have registered. So most of the participants, if they have joined from, if they have not registered and they have joined, because I've also shared the link on Facebook and on LinkedIn. So if you have joined from there, so you can just give your email ID over here. If you're not joined using the Google form, so we can give you the reasons. Okay, so thank you, thanks a lot all the participants for your amazing feedback and your time, and let's connect in next webinar. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye bye,
Thank
Emily.
you. Thank you.